Hello and welcome to Flip Flop Tabletop, a collaborative comedy Dungeons & Dragons podcast where two friends take turns playing the same character and making the world up as they go along. Oh my god, I said that so well first time I roll. My name is Fred.
My name is Sam. Well done, Fred.
Thank you. I just was on a roll there. I could feel the energy coursing through my vocal cords.
Fred, if you just open the folder in front of you, in the back page you'll find a range of gold stars that I've arranged for just this situation.
Yes! Podcast achievement unlocked.
There's also one in the shape of a Stegosaurus.
Oh my god, yeah.
You've really earned it. If you scratch that, do you want to just have a little scratch on that? Yeah, I think if you smell that, have a little sniff.
Oh, it smells
What does it smell that way? What are you getting over there?
It smells exactly like Stegosaurus.
Yes,
that's crazy.
Scientists.
Do you think they could reproduce the smell of a Stegosaurus? They'd focus on
making
They wouldn't go
stickers.
straight to stickers, I guess.
Yeah, that's how it's funded.
I guess what else would you do with that information? Like, you unlock the smell of Stegosaurus, what are you going to do with it? Stickers, I guess?
Well, you've heard of walking with dinosaurs. Now, smelling with dinosaurs?
Anyway, welcome to the podcast, everybody. What happened last time? Let's do the quick run-through of last time for everybody who can't remember. You tell it.
All right, what happened was our friend Rowe, having previously walked through the portal into the mysterious realm of Shadowfell, met a figure who resembled him down to the hairs on his grey little nipples. And that figure was Skull. Skull had a relationship to him, which of course we all remember. Freddie, what was that relationship?
He was kind of like his shadow twin, if you will. His mother came through pregnant, and when she left, she was still pregnant with Rowe, but left behind, I guess, fetus Skull, who was picked up and raised by skeletons, I believe.
That's got to do some interesting things to a young man's psyche, being kind of someone else's echo.
Yeah, or just trash.
Just
kind of
being
left
filtered.
behind. Byproduct.
If you've seen the movie Twins, starring...
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be really relevant.
Did I actually bring that up on the last episode?
You've brought it up before. I think you'd love that. That movie.
I found it very affecting at a certain age. For anyone at home who hasn't seen the classic 90s film in which Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger were finally paired up.
I know, it had just been waiting to happen.
What a creative collaboration that was.
I can't remember that movie so well. Should we go and watch it quickly?
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, it was really good.
Oh my god, yeah. Great film. Man, that takes me back.
Are we sure we didn't do exactly the same joke on the last episode?
Yeah, we did. That's why I like it. I used to, on the subject of the twins thing, do you remember that coffee I used to make when we worked together in a cafe, and I would make a short black and a long black, and I would have them together at the same time, and I would call that the twins after, the short black was Danny DeVito, the long black was Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'd have that every day at the start of my shift. Bang, bang, double coffee.
That's
Twins.
lovely. I like that.
It's great.
So in relation to the movie Twins, in
Yes.
which they are twins, and one of them is big and one of them is small.
Yeah.
But most other twins usually look much more similar.
Yeah, even non-identical twins usually have, they still look
Similar.
a bit more like family members than Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So a better name for that thing that you did, funny though it is, would have been maybe siblings.
Siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's maybe not as catchy.
And there's no kind of movie reference there or anything. It's just like, I'm calling my coffee siblings. These are siblings. And the guy I told would be like, well, I don't care.
Yeah.
What is that? What movie is that? And I'd be like, it's not a movie. Well, fuck off then.
That's a famous thing that people do, unless something is a reference to a movie. Just don't want to know.
Culture these days, man. People just want movies and references and stuff. They were like, what, is that in Rick and Morty or something? No? Oh, well, fuck off.
Yeah, I was trying to tell people about climate change. They didn't care. They're like, until the movie Extinction came out, and then suddenly they're like, get it.
Yeah.
As in human extinction.
Hey, remember we were explaining what happened
Oh,
last episode? So, some mushrooms. Franny ran off. He was afraid of twins. Some mushrooms are attacking him. Rowe and Skull get in there with their ginormous horse, Daisy Clopper, who's been transformed.
So this was
And
the real
bust shit
revelation
up.
of the episode, is that in narratively interesting but still semi-ill-defined ways, Shadowfell has interesting effects on things from other realms. This has made a horse massive, it's made Rowe's magic backfire and change its aspect. And we're really
Made a donkey be shredded.
right, I'd forgotten.
He's just like, "Ugh." Speaking of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'm really into protein shake cracker.
Yeah.
I love it. But where are they off to, Freddie? What's the situation?
So last we left them, they were just about to have a rest, I think, aboard the big horse while it continues on through the path. They're heading towards Skull's hometown of Knucklebone, I believe, and they need to go through the Howling Wastes.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I better start thinking of what's there. Something.
Presumably howling.
Yeah, and but it'll be a bit of a wasteland, I'm
Howler
guessing.
monkeys?
Well, we'll have to see.
That's what I had planned.
Shall we find out?
Are you trying to...
I'm trying to, like, end the intro. Jesus, this is our longest intro. I hope you're...
Quickly, ladies and gentlemen, join me in Shadowfell. Flip-flop, we're doing it now.
All right, it's been some hours since we last saw these guys. Basically, Franny arrived, seemed to be a bit more okay with the twin situation this time. It seems like he'd been maybe having kind of waves of cowardice, kind of in the way that Rowe's been having to resist the effects of Shadowfell. Franny's going through something similar. I guess he is such a brave person normally that the opposite of Franny is to be a complete coward. So he's having to fight that back. But you're all so tired. Had a big day, had a big fight, and the horse, Daisy Clopper, is continuing on through the forest in kind of the right direction. Just trusting that. I mean, you can talk to animals, so you've said go on that way.
Just full steam ahead, HMS Daisy Clopper.
Yep, and so imagine a few bedrolls laid out on the giant platform on top of Daisy Clopper, and we're all having a rest, and it's now morning time, and you're waking up, and you look at your arm, I guess, and you notice new tattoos there. Do you have any idea? Like, I can let you choose what they are, or I have an idea of what they might be.
I mean, I assume they're fungal in nature.
Some myconids. I was thinking also maybe Rowe had done one which was kind of like a figure of Rowe, like kind of an outline, but like split down the middle, half black, half white. Like, the flip-flop tabletop logo almost.
Oh, yeah.
That ties in quite nicely. So he's kind of found out about his twin recently, and I think it's conflicting for him, and he's done a kind of symbolic gesture of that.
Cool.
So, yeah, that's it. The horse is continuing on. Skull says, well, we should be getting just about out of the forest now, and we'll be hitting the Howling Wastes. You have any questions? Is there anything you need to know, Rowe? I mean, it's still quite a journey yet.
So my first question, really, Skull, is good morning, by the way.
That's not a question, but...
No, I'm just being polite. How did you sleep?
Oh, good morning. Yeah, no, I slept good. I'm used to it here. Did you find it hard to sleep in Shadowfell? No, you just out like a light.
No, I mean, if anything, I find it hard to sleep not in Shadowfell, so...
It must have been hard to put your finger on that up until now.
Yeah, no, I mean, so...
I can't sleep. Something's not right.
I mean, I feel like anyone who'd observed me over the last few days would have noticed the fact that often I replace sleep with action because I'm actually I'm a bit of an insomniac. I find it difficult to sleep. That's why anyone who'd followed the course of the last couple of days would have noticed that I just kept on doing things and not going to sleep.
Yeah, that explains it. What a tidy explanation for those people.
I'm currently winking.
Nice.
Skull, what's the deal with these Howling Wastes? Give me the info. Give me the lowdown, my brother. My Echo.
Well, I mean...
My DeVito.
They're where my hometown is. I mean, I live in a kind of oasis there that's sort of, maybe got a bit more going on for it, but they're basically an expanse of wasteland, home to these ginormous worms, which burrow through the ground. And
June. Are we talking June?
June, yeah. Think June, yeah. The movie June. You know that?
Yeah. Quite an interesting book, and David Lynch was really screwed over by the studio. I've got you.
So yeah, there's a bunch of tunnels underground. Above ground is like cold, dark, kind of wasteland. Not a lot going on, but the worms burrow through and make tunnels, and you can go through these tunnels as long as you watch out for the worms. I mean, they're huge. They're huge.
The worms.
But people live in there. People even live in the tunnels. So it's kind of warm underground. There's a bit more going on under there. So it's better to go under the... You can go over. Maybe it would be faster, but it's cold and boring.
So what's the height of these tunnels?
Like, I'm trying to decide if Daisy Clopper can come
That's
through
very
or
much
not.
Rowe's worry.
I don't know. They're about 30 foot. Which is actually, now I think about it, about 5 foot taller than this horse.
It's quite convenient, isn't it, for us and our purposes?
Everything's quite big here. I don't know if you noticed that.
Those mushrooms were huge.
The trees even were much bigger.
I mean, this does paint quite a worrying picture about the size of these worms, though.
Well, that's kind of the beauty of the worms, actually. They're so big that you're kind of you don't really matter to them. No one's really gets attacked by them because we're just like beneath contempt for the worms. You have to watch out when they come through the tunnels and make sure you're out of the way.
I mean, Skull, I know what you're saying, but I've stepped on a lot of ants in my time. Like, not on purpose. Not like
Exactly. So, I mean, the worm's not going to attack you, but you need to be mindful of it.
But if an ant attacked me, I'd be furious.
Yeah.
And actually, I hate it when ants are in my home.
Yeah. I guess this is very much.
Can you
what's
see
going
how
on
far
here.
we're pushing this analogy? I think that's...
Indeed, watch out for the giant worms for sure, but I mean, it's not like they're not hunting us. They just live there and we cohabitate.
Are they sentient?
Yeah.
Could I speak with them?
Probably, yeah.
How fast do they move?
Pretty fast. But you can feel them coming for a long time. The ground shakes
Nice.
as they move through the tunnels.
Like a subway train.
Like a subway train.
Which is
I
a
mean,
reference which neither of us get.
What is that?
Or as you would say, they're the size of a truck.
Like a way a big truck moves. A fantasy. No, a cart.
And you know how
big
in
rock.
some cities, some fancy cities have underground cart systems.
The size of large rocks. Yeah, I mean, that's the deal with the Howling Wastes. So we should be getting there soon. And actually, as he kind of says that, you notice that the trees are beginning to thin out a bit. And you can actually see almost in the distance the tops of some of them. You hadn't even been able to see that before because in the forest there's kind of a mist at the kind of forest roof level. So you couldn't even really see the tops of the trees. But as the forest begins to thin out...
I missed it. I'm thinking I missed it.
You missed the mist. So you can see now the trees, and
Rowe giggles.
Rowe giggles to himself at the Dungeon Master's explanation too sad.
No, sorry. Rowe turns to Skull and said, "Oh, I couldn't even see for this mist. I must have missed it."
You missed it. Yeah. Good.
Blinking, you missed it.
We get that all the time.
Skull, do you get my joke?
Yeah, no, it's a good joke. We have pretty similar sense of humor, I think. I was thinking the same joke.
Good.
You see the trees, and they are like crazy big. There is no real fantasy equivalent to compare them to. They're like ginormous skyscrapers.
So
Like a thousand
in terms
trucks.
of trucks, yeah.
Some trees to 1,000 trucks tall.
So we're talking like centi trucks. Or,
Yeah, it's 10 center trucks tall. These trees. Anyway, they're massive. But yeah, they're thinning out now, and you can sort of see the ground is beginning to get kind of
Wasty?
Yeah, a bit wasty. Like
Wasted.
there's patches of like the webbing, and yeah, the ground now is beginning to show. There's sand on there. It's like black, dark sand, and you see
Black sand.
some rocks, some dark rocks coming in as well.
Sorry, would you say the rocks are dark?
They're dark rocks. The sand, dark.
Also
a lot of things
dark.
are dark in Shadowfell.
Rocks, comma, dark. Sand, comma, dark also.
Yeah, I think maybe that will be the default color for things in Shadowfell. I'll mention if something's not dark. Assume it's all dark.
So should I also be assuming that any fauna will also be dark for purposes of camouflage?
Yeah.
So if you say there's a fox, I should assume it's a slightly dark fox.
Yeah, that's the going assumption now.
A lizard? What color would that be?
That would be dark. It would be its normal color. Like I imagine it like dark green or dark, blue or red or something. What color is a lizard?
Interesting. I'm going to throw a curveball at you on this dark fauna question.
What color is light?
Not quite that curved. Light doesn't curve unless something to do with the speed of light. Yeah, speed of light, time, gravity.
Yeah, like black holes.
Nice. Gravity.
Yeah.
My question is, so all fauna we've established is dark in this dark wasteland. What about poisonous fauna, which is trying to scare things off? What color is that?
Poisonous fauna doesn't try and scare things off because it's not a pussy in this world. It's like, yeah, fuck, I'll poison you. Come here. Like, whatever. Doesn't ward away. It's like, yeah, I want to kill.
So if you could describe this sneaky, no warning, poisonous animal, what is it? What am I looking out for?
It's just dark.
It's just a dark... So you're saying somewhere in this wasteland there is an animal which is incredibly poisonous and dark and will give no warning, but if I touch it, I'll die.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Rowe's dead. He just got poisoned by a dark animal.
That can also climb 25 feet, killing Daisy Clopper along the way?
Oh, yeah. He'll kill a 25-foot horse as soon as look at it. What? Everything's dead. You're all dead now.
Which is actually quite interesting, because you know how when describing poisonous creatures, or possibly venomous, poisonous.
I'm imagining, the creature I was imagining actually is venomous.
No, but it's interesting.
Because you didn't eat it. It didn't
No,
sneak
I
up
was
and you
imagining
ate
a contact like a poisonous frog.
Right, okay.
But what's interesting is people will often talk about, the poison of this frog can kill a horse in a minute.
I could kill a horse quicker than that. That's the thing. It's like, that's not very fast.
I'm going to contest that, Freddie.
Like, I'd need
From
a
what
tool.
point? So, when you first see I think you'd take a lot of thinking time. I think you'd take quite a lot of processing time. I think you'd sit in your car for a bit and you'd be like, why am I killing this horse? This is a real change of career for me.
Yeah. God, I don't know if I'll be the same. But you're right. I couldn't kill a horse in a minute.
Thank you. I'm glad that you acknowledge when you're wrong. This is a healthy relationship. You horse butcher. So, I'll look out for the poisonous creatures out there.
Yeah. I will say you're not dead. That isn't canon. That's too ridiculous.
Okay.
Because, man, that would be tough.
It would
spoil a lot of what I have planned.
It'd be a real change of pace.
So, you hit the wastes slowly, more or less. It's still at the edge of the kind of in between the forest and the waste. Some of the trees are out kind of in the waste a bit, but you soon see that it's open and you get your first kind of glimpse of the sky, which is... Have they
not seen the sky this whole time?
No, because of the mist above you.
And
even and the trees and all that sort of stuff. You haven't seen the sky. And it's like a night sky in the world. You don't know if it's daytime or nighttime, but it's kind of bright like day, a bit more there's more light, but it looks, you see stars and it's dark.
You trying to tell me it's like a bright night?
Yeah, kind of. It's like twilight, I guess, but a bit brighter. But the sky is black. It doesn't have that whole sun shining through the ozone making it blue thing. It's dark. Because imagine if you're on the moon, it's bright, but the sky is dark because it doesn't really have the atmosphere to make it. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing.
So what are we breathing in this world?
Just air. I mean, I haven't to be honest, I haven't gone that deep that I've come up with a kind of ozone alternative. I just wanted the sky to be dark.
No. Okay, so it's
the plants produce air.
Do they?
Yeah.
It's
like there's trees out
That's
there.
really different from our world. What an imagination you have, Freddie.
I almost choked on my gummy. Aha! The plants produce air. I got it. Genius! In this topsy-turvy backwards world, the plants make the air.
For anyone at home
Fuck, I'm
who
stupid.
thought I was being mean, the look of satisfaction on Freddie's face when he said the plants produce air, really, he had to be lampooned for
But
that.
they're pulling it out of the ground. That's what's happening. They're not...
Is it the worms who are burying the air? Like, why is the air in the ground?
You'll have to find out on your own. You have to look into it. Rowe doesn't know. He thinks about it and he doesn't know yet. So anyway, there's air and shit. I didn't describe that when we arrived, but just trust me, there's air. You're all good.
So I've been adding to my list of assumptions. Things in the wasteland are dark.
Yeah.
Including the sky.
What's it like to
Also-
breathe air out of trees? How does that feel?
So are you saying, though, if they're coming out of the trees, which I'm assuming is now canon, does that mean that the wastes are airless?
No, because there are still trees, different trees in the waste section. You see these kind of short, chubby trees, kind of like baobab trees. You know, the one where they're like...
trees.
Yeah, like a chode tree. So they're kind of like... They have like... Honestly, each tree is, it's huge as well. It's not as big as the other ones. It's probably 50, 60 foot tall. But it's kind of this dark wood.
Oh, right.
And
I was
each-
actually assuming that.
Each tree probably has about 3 or 4 leaves. Like, it's mostly just like bark, and
big
the
are those?
roots go in. They're pretty big. They're like size of a person, I guess.
The leaves.
Yeah. But you can see these kind of root systems like going into the ground,
Really
and
deep.
they're kind of like dotted about. So around you, black sand, kind of hills, and like a kind of rugged landscape. Dark kind of stones outcropping, and kind of you see some large holes in the ground. These ginormous worm-made holes, presumably.
wormholes.
Skull says, "Well, I normally go through here. I'm kind of friendly with the people who live in there, and it goes kind of a good chunk of the way to Knucklebone. If you want to go through there, I mean, we have this big horse. It could be quicker to go over land, but I know. I actually know a guy in there." By the name of Sticklebrick, and he's a kind of magic enchanter guy. I don't know, maybe you could ask him about your dragon. I don't know. One time he fixed my petrified rat. You could talk to him about that. I don't know, but otherwise, I mean, we can just go straight to...
I mean, as much as me, Sam, as a player, is incredibly tempted to just spurn the hand that you've thrust out in front of me, you've caught me in a web of...
Follow your heart, though, because that's about all I've planned. So
No,
it's
no,
like you
but
wouldn't
Rowe, as soon as he mentions an enchanter who might be able to help Bestie, is obviously going to go that way. So well played, friend.
It's nice through there. I mean, the problem is, I guess, this horse. The way we deal with the worms is when they come through, like we've dug out, or the people who live there rather have dug out kind of caverns in the side, so you can just tuck into those, and the houses are in there. But this horse is, you're going to need to find a junction.
So very much in the way that we were discussing the large fantasy cities that also have the underground cartways.
Stations, I guess.
They also have those. I mean, and when detectives in those have crossbow shootouts, they're always hiding in them. And as I've heard in the stories, in the famous city of Always Winter.
Nice.
Suck that, Wizards of Coast. That's not copyright.
We've solved your copyright puzzle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I guess is the risk of bringing Daisy Clopper through here.
Franny, my friend, what do you think? Do you really? I mean, do you want to come? I mean, what's your situation?
Okay, well, it's interesting you say that because Franny, now that he's been given kind of a decision to make about what to do, he's gonna have to. He looks conflicted. He doesn't really know. He's starting to panic. You can kind of see that same frantic look in his eyes, and he's going to have to roll to kind of save against like crippling cowardice.
Oh, nice.
12. Okay, so he says, well, I don't know. It seems kind of dangerous everywhere. Maybe is it safer in there, Skull? And he says, yeah, sure. I mean, kind of. If you watch out for the worms, it's fine. This evil birds up top. which will attack you. You're at least safe from them if you're in the tunnels, but you just gotta watch out for the worms. It's fine. I'm only worried about Daisy Clopper, though. And he's like, I'll leave it up to you, Rowe. I need to have a sit down and a cup of tea. Does anybody want tea? And he goes and makes tea.
All right, let's go into this tunnel.
Okay, yeah, let's go. And Skull goes, yeah, all right.
There's one person we haven't checked with.
Oh.
Watercracker, how you doing down there, buddy?
Yeah, good, bro. You got any carrots, dog?
High protein carrots. No, I'm sorry, Watercracker. I don't really have any food. Do you have food? I don't.
Skull reaches into his bag and pulls out dark carrots.
I was just sipping. You can't do.
So yeah, he chucks down these.
Isn't Dark Carrots? Isn't that a Christopher Nolan movie?
What?
The Dark Carrot.
Yes, the dark carrot. I am the dark carrot.
Okay, I feel uncomfortable doing Batman, seeing as I'm not really a Batman or superhero fan.
No,
and,
not a
and
huge
everybody
fan either.
listening to a D&D podcast probably is. Yeah. But
I'm the carrot that Gotham needs. I was just picturing the poster. It's just quite funny. The dark carrot.
The dark carrot.
like in the ground, like growing.
The Dark Carrot returns.
The dark carrot rises. It's like someone
it's
pulling
rises,
the carrot
yeah.
out of the ground. Anyway, Skull chucks down some of these dark carrots to Watercracker. He eats them and says,
Yo, these are dope. You got any more of those, man? These are sick.
Dark carrot.
These dark carrots are fat.
he talks like that now. He says fat.
Fat.
And sick. And Skull's like, yeah, not at the moment, but there should be food when we get to the village in here.
And meat. What's his name? Skinny Bum. Skinny Booby Rotten.
He was called Sticklebrick.
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 That's a good name. I like that name.
Thank you. It's named after a song I know, but I think that song is named after like it's kind of like a Lego Duplo kind of alternative, maybe. Sticklebricks. I like a thing. I had to Google it because I was like, oh, I like that song, Sticklebricks.
Yeah.
I wonder what
We're
they
going
are.
to meet the character, Bionics.
Yeah.
They call me Meccano. I am the blacksmith in this town.
Were you a Lego boy?
Yeah, I love that shit.
I had Lego and Duplo.
Yeah, no,
When
you
I was
start on the Duplo, then you
Work
graduate.
your way down
You-
to Lego? I mean, they're smaller. Work your way up to a smaller version.
No, Duplo's for the kids, but when you're ready for the big time, you hit Lego.
Adult Duplo, I call it.
Yeah.
Lego.
Right,
Right, so as
pretty good.
you head into this tunnel, there's like a kind of big outcropping in this dark stone, and you see kind of piles of earth mounded up all around, and you can see this tunnel is leading underneath, kind of in the distance, one of the baobab trees. You head through the tunnel, and it's kind of lit by dots all around, like kind of glowworms, I guess.
Cool. Are they in any
They're
way
dark.
the?
You can't see; they're not giving off any light. They're dark.
So Skull, what are these? Is there a name for these big worms?
It's called the big worm. I think there's just one.
It's just one.
Yeah, I've only ever seen one.
That seems. I mean, it seems unlikely.
They say it's thousands of years old.
All right. Okay. It's just called the big worm.
The big worm, yeah.
I guess.
So they call it. It's kind of like it's a god to these people almost. I mean, they live in its cave. It provides them warmth. Did I mention it's furry?
What?
It's
No.
furry like a wolf, and it howls. Like it pokes its head up and howls.
Is that why they're called the Howling Wastes?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then right on cue, you hear like in the far, far, far distance, like a like massive, like just echoing across the plains, off the rocks, just like this humongous.
Is
howl.
it echoing through the
ground
tunnels or across the air?
Across the air? It's like just as you're about to go in, and you.
I mean,
because it goes up out of the ground to howl.
given that, I mean, we've already established that between the baobab trees, the air's a lot thinner. That would mean less transmission of sound, because that's how sound works. So, I mean, it must be incredibly loud to transmit all that way.
I guess the sound kind of hops across a network of baobab trees in a sense.
It would have to. The waves would have to kind of echo through them. There'd have to be a baobab tree in
Network, like
every
telephone
single
lines.
point between us and the worm. Otherwise, we wouldn't hear a thing.
Well, like it's not like an individual baobab tree. Like a baobab tree produces like a big cloud of dark oxygen, as I'm
It
now
does.
calling it.
Dark air.
Dark air.
Dark air rises.
Yeah, let's do that joke again.
Every
You
single
got to riff
time.
on this? Another 5 minutes. So yeah, you hear that howl, and you head into the tunnels, and they are glowing, and it's all nice. It's kind of like carved out. There's actually like little pathways as well. You can see like fur as well, kind of all through the tunnel, and it's kind of like clumped up. And
The big worm is molting, is he? Or she? He or she?
it just goes through the tunnels all the time. It is furry, so it's like the hair would be coming off it, and it's like quite thick.
Hair today, gone tomorrow.
I got nothing. Damn it.
Well, if you can't think of a joke, there'll be hell to pay. To pay.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought the joke word there was hell, and I was trying to like, what?
No,
Because
it
it's
was-
Shadowfell? And you're like, toupee. Genius. I missed the joke. That was funny.
Well,
than I thought.
don't wig out too much.
Cool. So you head in, and you're walking down this tunnel where there's like paths, and you can even see like kind of cobbled roads.
When you
that
say
people
we're
have
walking
made.
down, I mean, surely Daisy Clopper's walking.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the situation with our heads in the ceiling if it's only 6?
You're
Rose
actually
got
fine.
down.
You've
Rose got down.
You've got quite a bit of clearance there because
Rowe's not going to... He's worried about stalagmites. No, stalactites.
yeah.
And he has... I mean, stalagmites as well. Maybe.
You don't want to go down if you're worried about stalagmites.
No, but
You
he
gotta
just...
stay up.
He doesn't want to sit... He doesn't want to catch one in the head. And so he's a little too aggressively gone into a kind of combat crouch.
Okay, yeah, he's so imagine the scene of a 6.5 foot orc crouching down inside a 30-foot hole.
No, he's still on Daisy Clopper. He never got down.
I thought you said he got down the horse. Like,
No,
was holding
no,
on
no,
the
no,
horse,
no,
like,
no.
to crouch on the ground.
No,
Jesus.
He's still on the platform.
really
He
terrifying.
thinks there's only 5 foot of clearance. He's 6.5 foot. He's gone into a combat crouch.
Cool. Well, there's actually plenty of clearance because the hole is 30, or for Rowe at least, the hole is 30 foot tall. The horse is 25 foot tall, and then there's like quite a big gap between the top of the platform and the top of the horse's head, if you know what I mean, because of the horse's neck. Anyway, this is kind of a good time, I think, for you to do another roll, a Constitution saving throw to prevent against Shadowfell stuff happening.
Okay, come on, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't actually had to roll in quite some time.
It's probably a sign of bad dungeon mastering on my part.
Okay, 17.
17. All right. You're fine.
I am Constitute.
I mean, that's the least interesting one because you're not going to find out what I was going to make happen, but
No,
fine.
I'm a little bit sad, but
Good roll. Everything is normal. Continue.
what a plot development.
Yeah, great. So you see some signs now of like habitation in this tunnel. You can see
Like literal signs, like saying, welcome to...
"Welcome to Burrowtown." Yeah, you see a sign that says "Welcome to Burrowtown."
Nice.
Or like Burrowtown ahead. 100 trucks.
Yeah. Rose says, I've spotted some signs of habitation.
Yeah, it's just up here. So those signs of habitation are like some kind of cobbled roads and some signs, and you see, so the tunnel is like pretty nicely round, like
It's
as
been
you would
maintained.
imagine. Yeah, it's been maintained, but then there's also like kind of shelves being dug into that, if you can imagine it, so that say you were standing in the middle of the tunnel and the worm came down, you would be inside of like a kind of, there's just kind of like divots inside the hole that's like,
Okay, yeah.
the worm is in that shape, so it's not going in there. So people have kind of carved out little ledges and stuff like that. And you can also see the roots of the baobab tree, you assume, coming down, and people's houses are kind of built in amongst these roots and valleys which are here. You see water dripping down from the baobab roots as well. So yeah, little houses made out of sticks and kind of the fur and rocks and so on of the tunnel. And you see a little village there up to the side, about 50 trucks in the distance.
Sorry, can I just ask you, so people are building out of fur?
Yeah.
Why? What does that mean?
Well, it's like they can make roofing out of it. It's like it's thick, like it's this thick fur.
Why?
It's kind of
why
like
roofing? Like, what are they worried about? Rain?
just like you need a top on it, right? I guess.
I guess in case tall people come in and peer into what you're doing in your house.
So I did. Well, that's actually interesting. You should say that because the houses are all quite small. You notice now.
What? How?
But no, the roofs
how
are like
small?
you can see water dripping in there, oddly, and you didn't really see any water before. So you're not sure what's up with that, but it kind of seems to be dripping from the roots of the trees, and it's been kind of. You can see they've made little waterways that is funneling the water that's coming from the roots.
Nice.
So it seems like maybe those baobab trees are producing water also,
As well as air.
They're everything
Right.
trees.
Do they also provide food for these people? These are amazing.
No, that's crazy.
Okay.
A tree could never provide food, Sam. Yeah, they also.
Apples, you idiot!
No, yeah, you can see little dark potatoes hanging out from their roots.
Dark potatoes.
Dark potatoes
From
are hanging
trees?
from the roots. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
they're what's that? They're a root vegetable tree. They're like a bulb. They're a bulb tree.
That's not what root vegetable means, but I love it. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Dark potatoes.
Cool. So they're living off dark potatoes, and you get in here, and they're basically the houses are being made from whatever is being provided by the worm, the tunnel, the desert, and the trees. More or less, it's kind
That
of
seems logical.
all they've got. Yeah, that's why I had to come up with the trees like producing some actual stuff. But you see,
Wow. Inside the mind.
I wanted to make this city functional. I didn't want anyone poking holes in my city of that is inside of a poked hole.
What's it called again?
Burrowtown. That's a very unimaginatively made up on the spot name. But yeah, it's called Burrowtown.
Cool.
Welcome to Burrowtown, the sign says above the little gate. The houses are probably about 6 foot tall.
Ooh. So either people are either banging their heads a lot, or they're shorter than I am.
Well, you can hear kind of sounds like people kind of chit-chatting
Okay.
and so on.
Rowe's had enough of not saying anything for quite a long time. So Rowe just suddenly doesn't wait for Skull, doesn't wait for Franny, and just bellows incredibly loudly, "Hello, Barrowtown!"
Oh, and you hear lots of people kind of scuttering, and they walk up, and they see you, and they say, "Skull, are you? Skull, is that you?"
It's in a manner of...
And Skull kind of pushes in front of you because he's just as like excited as you are, and says, "Yes, hello. Sorry, don't mind. This is not. That's
I'm Rowe!
this is Rowe.
Alright!
He's kind of
He's
my
kind of pushing me aside, but Rowe's not really having it and is also kind of pushing him aside. It's like, "Hi, I'm Rowe."
he's my brother, I guess. Yeah. Do you mind? Can we come down?" And they there's actually a ledge kind of about 25 foot high up that you can hop off the
That is
horse.
very convenient.
And
I thought you said that the head was higher than we are.
what do you mean?
Well, if it's 25 foot high, it's above us.
There's a ladder hanging down from the ledge.
is there?
God, the foot thing is really... We've been so specific about heights in this podcast for something that's so made up.
I
We're
seem
like,
to remember
all
you
heights.
calling holes in my 25 foot horse last time.
I did. So you hop up and... I should explain the people now, by the way. They
What do they look like?
look like gnomes. They're not dissimilar to gnomes, but they're a little bit different to gnomes. And can you think how they might be different?
I wonder, is it something about their complexion? Are they very
They got different haircuts.
light?
No, they're dark gnomes.
Wow.
Yep. Things are dark at Shadowfell.
Hey, I've
These
got an
gnomes
idea
are
for a
dark.
joke about that, you having said that. What
Go.
if I said, "The Dark Gnome Rises"?
Oh, and it will be a reference to that movie, The Dark Carrot
That came
Rise.
out like...
Let's stop talking about Batman. I fucking hate Batman.
You love
I
Batman.
hate Batman. I'm so sick of Batman. That's
no.
one of those superhero movies that came out where like normal people now just will talk about Batman. I'm like, oh, come on now. Really?
I've also always never cared about Batman. I did like those ones. They're better than usual.
Yeah,
but
they're
also
watchable.
there's actually only one of them which is actually really good, and that's the middle one. And the other two kind of suck. And it's like,
I've only seen the Scarecrow one, which I think is not the good one. I think the Heath Ledger one's meant to be the good one, right?
yeah, that's good. But, like, the one with, like, Bane, the last one, doesn't really make any sense.
I can't take that guy seriously.
Okay, so the plot of that
I'm
movie
Bane.
literally involves Bane. He blows up a stadium, and then every single police officer in the city goes into the tunnels to look for him, and then he closes the entrance behind them, so all of the police are stuck underground, and then they just shut the bridges, and then it's like 6 months later, and the police are still underground. And it's like, what? This is so fucking stupid. Like, doesn't make any sense.
They're like living off the steam of the previous movies, I guess, at that point.
Yeah, but like, I mean, in what possible world? I mean, come on. There's at least... I mean, the police don't work like... They have more than one shift. It's not like they're going to call in every single police officer from their day off and be like, do you mind going underground? Because then what happens the next day? Who's going to do all of the policing? Like, that's just not how it works.
Well, they just would take a day off policing so everyone could have a sleep.
Everyone. It's actually set in the same universe as
Promise
The
no
Purge.
crime.
Yeah, and they're just like, when the police have a day off, that's when the Purge happens.
So, there's dark gnomes here. Just to bring it...
You are going to have a hell of a time editing this incredibly disgusting.
to really rein in your sidetracking.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
sorry.
get some gnome shit done. Hey, you know what I thought of the other day, speaking of sidetracking, and speaking of reining it in, is you know how Franny's like renowned for having this large purple jacket?
Yeah.
Doesn't it stand to reason that his horse Daisy Clopper would have purple reins?
Oh!
Reins!
Purple rains.
Yeah, so I'm just backtracking there. The reins are purple.
Walking in the purple rains.
Haven't heard the song in a while, have you?
No. What is it?
Only want to see you laughing?
No. I only was...
Bathing in the purple rain?
Don't want to be your part-time lover.
Weekend lover.
Don't want to be your weekend lover.
Only want to make love in the weekdays.
Yeah. It's quite a... Like, I mean, I know what he's saying, but it is quite weird.
He doesn't want a casual relationship, is what he's saying. Okay, so let's try get back into D&D here. Okay, so you pull up to the ledge, climb the wee ladder that's there.
Am I successful?
I'd like you to roll dexterity climbing throw.
For anyone who's not that familiar, that's not a real thing. That's an 18.
Okay, yeah, you climb the ladder. And some of the gnomes are like, ooh, wow, he really bolted up that.
Check that out.
Good work. He's just like you, Skull.
Hello, people. I mean, hello, town.
Just people.
Town folks.
You just call us people.
Little people are people too. That's what I always say.
Yeah, we say that.
Anyway, before I started insulting you for no particular reason, hello.
Welcome.
Take me to Sticklebricks.
Sticklebricks. Yeah, okay.
What's your name, little guy?
My name's Henrietta.
Hello, Henrietta. And may I say that's a lovely hat that you're wearing.
Thank you.
Is that made out of...
It's made out of hair.
Yeah, the big one.
Yeah.
I was going to say. That's...
It looks like a kind of traditional, or like how you imagine it. Hat. It's about 1/100th of a truck tall, and it's... No, okay, that's enough of that. It looks like an elf hat. You know, like
What
a
does that mean?
Santa Claus's elf. Like it's like a pointed, minish cap.
Okay, I know what you mean now, but you can see how that's confusing in a world with like different elves.
Right. I forgot
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, Santa's elves.
Okay, cool.
Their hats, and it's like made of a kind of woven fur,
What's the
and
deal
it's
with
been
those hats?
dyed.
Where did they come
It
from?
actually is colourful,
What colour?
red.
Is it like a dark red? I mean...
Yeah, I guess it is kind of dark because it's like, where do you get colour from in this world? But it's notably red, like they've dyed it.
Nice.
It's a customised hat. She...
What does that mean? Customizable hat.
I just mean like... I don't know what I mean. I mean, there's fashion going on here. They're not just like living a hovelled existence. They're like have culture and fashion and
Their own
little
society.
personalities in society.
And
that's like exemplified by a colourful hat.
so are other people wearing similar hats?
Nobody is.
So she's...
She's very much like... Do you remember when I used to work at Sweets how I was like hat guy? Because I always wore a hat.
I do, yeah.
She's hat girl of this village. She wears a hat.
So she's going to rethink this at some point.
Yeah, when she moves to the big city, she'll start wearing the hat.
Yeah.
Cool, so she actually leads you up and around, and you walk up some kind of large routes into kind of the highest point of this chamber, where there's a small little house. The sign above the door says Sticklebrick's Sick Tricks.
That.
Sam just came out with that and told me it. I gotta come clean. Damn it. I wanted to steal it for myself, but I was thinking of a name and he told me it, and it was his all along, and I didn't come up with that, and Sam's really clever. Sticklebrick's Sick Tricks, it says. And she knocks on the door and says, Stickle, are you there? And he says, yes, hello.
I am loving that voice that you're doing there.
Yes, it's like a gnome, but it needs to be high, but also old.
It's really good.
Thank you.
I'm really enjoying it. Hi, my name's Rowe, friend of Skulls. I'm here to talk to you about a puppeter-sized dragon.
He kind of pokes his head out the window and goes, oh, good grief. And
like
opens
seeing
the door and
double.
says, good lord, you look just like Skull. Yeah, hi, how can I help?
Well, my name is Rowe, and I've got some trouble with my little friend.
Oh, yes.
He's been turned into a puppet against his will.
Oh, who's your friend?
He's in a bag. He's a little shy. Do you mind if I bring him inside?
Sure. It's a she, by the way.
Yes.
Well, you can hand him to me here, but you're not going to fit inside, I'm afraid. But I can.
What if I kind of lie down and
It's
stick
just
my head
I've got
in?
all my. There's a lot of precarious stuff in here. No, I'd prefer if you didn't. Sorry, Rowe, but please let me have a
What
look.
if I took the roof off and I could just like peer in?
That's my roof. No.
I try and
me see.
persuade him.
Do you want me to help you or not?
No, I'm going to persuade him to let me like just cut a little hole in his roof.
Okay, I'm setting the DC in my brain.
An unnatural 20. What are you going to do with that, friend? What are you going to do
that's
with that?
actually the DC I set.
It's 20.
Yeah.
Well, I just met it, didn't I?
Wow. Gee, I mean, I guess there's two of you. You could maybe lift it off gently. Okay, be very careful though. You can place it over there, but you must put it back. Okay.
I promise to replace your roof.
Still not going to be easy to get through the door.
I don't have to. I'm just going to lean over now.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, so
Strength check. I'll do Skull. You do Row. 13.
I got a 3. So plus 2, that's a whopping 5. So does that mean that if we're both holding one side of the roof, I drop my side?
Yeah, it does.
Does that mean I've just smashed this poor man's roof?
You so I know you've done a low strength roll, but I'm going to manifest it as maybe something was like too heavy-handed, and you kind of just rip a big kind of patch of the fur of the roof off by kind of above the door. So the roof is broken, but I guess there is a hole you can now look through. But he says, God, I knew that was a bad idea. Jesus. Oh, you better fix that.
I'm genuinely very sorry about that.
Just never mind. Just hand
I'm
it
actually
here.
surprised. I thought it was a good idea because looking back on it, you were right. That was a weird idea.
I'm a wise old gnome, you know.
Anyway, Sticklebrick.
Ticklebrick. He's getting quite frustrated with you now.
Is he?
Yeah, you'll dedefinitely have disadvantage on any persuasion against him.
Look, I'm really sorry. It's been a really weird day for me. I'm not from this world, as you might realize.
Yes, that's plain to see.
I'm from a world that I call home.
That's what I call this world, but sure.
Okay. Anyway,
I think lots of people call the place of their origin home.
Is there anything that I can do for you, Sticklebrick?
We always need resources from outside this land and the tunnel, so if you're heading out, if you could bring back any, anything we might need here, really.
Can I ask you, do you have a lot of metals?
That's exactly what I was going to suggest. Any iron or anything like that, or any foods that aren't dark potatoes would be great. Some fish would be fantastic, and some oil. If you could bring back those, that would be brilliant.
Can I now?
Well, let me see the poor thing first, right?
Okay.
We'll see what it's going to cost, because these things cost me resources and time, and the damage will, decide the cost.
So I pull out the small little bag that Bestie's in, and I kind of post it. So I'm leaning over, but I kind of post it through the front door.
Cool. He grabs it and takes a look and says, "Oh, good heavens, you're a sweet thing, aren't you?" And
It's all right, Bestie. He's a friend.
oh,
It's all right, Bestie. It's all right. I'm the one peering through the roof like a weird giant.
okay. And he says, "It's all right, sweet thing. I won't hurt you. Please come out. Come on." And he puts her on the table and says, "Oh, this is yes. This is
I've seen this before.
this is a classic curse. Yeah, no, this can be lifted though. It will take time for sure." And she says, "Is this the man who's going to make me big, Rowe? A big dragon?" And he says, "No, I'm going to turn you back into a normal dragon. Don't worry about it."
So Rowe's remembering his promise now. With he is embarrassed. Like he is embarrassed because he made a big. He is a classic committer. But he still believes that that's what he's going to do, and he says, "Look,
Bestie, got to take things one step at a time. I'm so sorry. Right now, we're just going to see if we can turn you back into a flesh and blood dragon. I promise that I'll find a way to turn you into a real dragon, or like a big dragon."
Yeah, great. She actually looks kind of happy for the first time in ages, and she's like clinking around, the sound of wooden blocks clocking together as she like kind of crawls around the room and is like investigating and so on.
I turn to Skull and I'm like,
It's good to see her. It's good to see her happy.
Yeah, her attitude seems positive now.
She's literally just been sitting in a bag ever since I've met you, so...
Oh, that's really... Yeah, that's going to be boring for her. You need to take better care of your pets. I thought you were an animal lover.
She's not a pet. She's been going through a hard time, and I've been giving her space.
Fair enough. Yeah, you need to... Well... You need to take good care of your familiar and not ignore it for 2 episodes like I have. It's just been sitting on my shoulder this whole time. Mischief. Did we introduce Mischief?
no, I don't know who Mischief is.
Oh, Mischief is the...
And are you getting at me for not bringing up the familiar?
No, I forgot.
You
Yeah.
bastard.
Yeah, no, this is Mischief. And I don't know why
He's more like a little imp,
speaking
right?
in the gnome's voice. Yeah, he's an imp. And he's actually been kind of like... in a similar manner to how Bestie, before she became wood, would like sit kind of on his shoulder and just like cruise about and just mission around. He has been doing that. He's kind of like quiet as well. Like, you know how Bestie is like, I mean, mainly for podcast and just D&D purposes, just quiet generally, but just does its own thing. Like, imagine in a computer game when you get one of those pets that just is there and does its own thing.
Until they die. And then
Until they die.
It's like a constant thing where they don't move quite fast enough, or like if they get attacked, they decide to attack the strongest enemy, and then you just
It's not like a fetch quest or anything. It's not like what's it called?
escort mission.
Escort mission, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's like Ellie in The Last of Us, where she doesn't do anything like that.
That sounds like a game that I should play.
Anyway, yeah, so he says, sure, I can... What are your plans now? Because I can fix her. It'll take a few days. Do you want to stay? Are you going to go away, come back, collect her? That's fine also.
Skull, I think...
It's about a day's ride to Knucklebone from here. I mean, we could nip there and come back if you like.
Bestie, what do you think? Are you alright staying on your own with these people? They seem trustworthy.
Yeah, he's nice. I'll stay. You can just come back and collect me.
I promise.
But don't be long.
2 days,
I'll
max.
miss you. I'll miss you, Rowe.
Well, think about it this way, Bestie. You'll be able to fly to me soon.
Ooh. Yeah, great.
All right. I turn to Stickle Sticks.
Stickle bricks. This will cost you, you know. You need to bring back, at least 100 gold worth of iron.
Okay.
Or metal, or something of equal value.
Okay. You want 100 gold of iron.
Yeah.
That's a normal way to say that, so that's...
Yeah, I didn't know how to say that in a non-D&D way.
Okay, so I don't have...
Or 100 gold would be fine, also.
Okay.
To be paid on completion. It's up to you.
Okay. No, I can give you a bit of a deposit.
Okay.
Okay, so Rowe doesn't have that much money, like, at all.
No.
Or equivalent.
So he says he's got a few things that he doesn't need. So he says, what about this lovely iron pot? Isn't that nice?
Oh,
That's going to be at least 5 golds.
no, that's much more here. Iron is very rare in Shadowfell. That's over 200 gold as it is. I'm unable to give you change.
Well, Rowe's suddenly very generous, and he's like, I'm sure we can work something out.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Brilliant, this is a great pot. And he pops it on his head. Very good.
Can I just say, I love the local fashion. Your
I'll
hat
be the belle of
fashion.
the ball.
Great, well, I'll leave that with you, and just don't skip town and look after Bestie.
All right. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Good to meet you, and you must fix my roof when you return.
All right, yeah, sorry about that. Bye, Bestie.
Bye.
All right, Skull. Let's go and sort this thing out.
All right.
We've got a horse to meet. So Rowe has a look around. I mean, is there anything else that he needs to do? Or, I mean, is there anything else interesting in this town?
Not really. It's just like a small little community of people. It's like a stop
Like how
by
many?
thing. I'd say there's like 40 people total living here.
Is there any... Can he get a nice hat? Or, like...
There's just the one hat.
There's one hat in town.
Yeah, and now I guess
Can he
Sticklebrick
see
has
Henrietta?
a pot. She's still outside with you, yeah.
Henrietta, I love your hat, by the way. I hope it hasn't...
Thank you. People always mention it.
I hope it hasn't, upstaged you a bit now. I've given old Stickles Dick the an iron pot.
Brick.
Sticklebrick, that's right. I'm not joking. I'm having a lot of trouble remembering his name. I mean, I hope that doesn't upstage you. Now he's got an iron pot, bit of a helmet thing going on.
He's already taken it off and is kind of like looking at it and marveling at it, and while Bestie runs around he's like pretty excited about it.
Okay, cool. Well, I hope it goes some way to mending our relationship, which has been rocky, I will admit. Okay, Rowe's keen to just get on. I think he doesn't really like Shadowfell. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
And he wants to get on. He wants to know what's going on, and he wants to go and meet
Harold Cholmondeley.
Harold Cholmondeley.
Yeah, Skull says, all right, man, we better go. I know Harold Cholmondeley is looking forward to meeting you.
Well, that was. Do you know? I'm really glad that we've expanded the universe of the dark carrot. There's a lot there, which I'm really glad that we fleshed. Because I mean, I often find when people make jokes, they'll just lightly glance over it. But I really feel we explored every room,
every
in that
nook
joke
and cranny.
house. We had the torches out. We're looking in the corners. Is there any more in this?
Got a little brush, and we're like dusting off like an investigation kind of thing, like looking for potential jokes there. Nope, nothing. It's clean.
No. Is there a secret
Not a trace.
passageway from this joke room to that joke room? No, it's just the same.
It's a dead end.
Real dead end.
Check it again.
But we're glad that you joined us on that. And Shadowfell, it's a lot less scary than I thought it would be. I mean, it's dark, but no. I mean, I guess it goes to show that you can't judge an entire magical realm just by the rumors, can you?
Or by its evil-sounding name.
Or its evil-sounding name. Just as an aside, it is possible to review things on iTunes. That's something I like to do in my spare time. Do you like to review things on iTunes in your
As soon
spare
as this
time?
episode's over, I'm going to go and review
Yeah.
some things on iTunes. Because I hear it really helps the people who make them out.
No, that's not why I do it. I do it just for the fun of it. The sheer bloody thrill.
Smashing that 5-star button.
Yeah, whoa.
What a thrill. Like, share, subscribe, all of that. And please love us. That's what we want. Please personally fall in love with us.
Our charming banter and our pretty blue eyes. You do actually have pretty blue eyes.
You've got ugly brown eyes.
Fuck you. They're deep and soulful. No more episodes. It's over. Goodbye, everyone.
Fuck this. See you later.